friends. So today I am right now in the studio of artist Parag Borse.
Hi.
And he is going to give us a demo today in soft pastels. I've shared the photograph on the group so you can have a look at it. And I think when we take a break in between, I'll show you his setup. But right now, we'll just hand it over to him and let him take charge.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank
You would like to say something first to our audience?
Nothing. Just enjoy whatever I'm doing.
Speak about yourself. Like his studio is in Karjat, so I have driven down from Pune to Karjat, and it's a beautiful space and very peaceful, calm. I'm sure it's a very nice way to spend the whole day.
Yeah,
so you can speak about your.
Actually, I was inviting Hina for last 4 or 5 years must be. And because it's a very scenic place, it's a beautiful place, Karjat, which is surrounded by mountains, Sayadri mountains, and lot of treks are there. So it's a beautiful place, and I have inspired from this scenic beauty of Karjat. The people over here, the shepherds community, the Adivasis, they are so beautiful. I love to paint them a lot. And today I am selecting one of the reference photograph which Hina had shot.
Yeah, which is then painting reference. Even this photograph was taken outside Ellora Caves.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I think it's in Maharashtra only, and the skin and texture, which I really enjoy in all your portraits. I think we are going to enjoy in this portrait too.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, so we'll just begin. Just give me a minute to start the setup. I hope I didn't disturb it.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yeah. You may you start it's ready.
Because the thing is that the time 1.5 hour you have told me.
Yeah.
Which is a very short time, and usually I prefer at least 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, for this size portrait. This is a willow charcoal stick.
Okay.
I'm using. We're just putting the placement of the portrait.
You normally prefer to paint on a colored surface, correct?
Yeah. Tone surface.
Tone one, yeah.
And a
Grey.
tone, yeah.
Neutral tone mostly.
Neutral tone mostly.
So we have a lot of friends who've joined in right now, and Ajay Chandak, Grishma Shevla, Tapti Mitra from Kolkata, they all have joined in to watch you.
Hello everyone. I hope you will enjoy.
Vilas Jadhav, Krishan Kundra, even he's
Hi
joined in.
Krishan.
People from Bangalore also. Friends, if you have anything to ask, you please shoot your questions. I will share your questions with him.
This is a Canson meat intis paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this your primary preference always, or is there any other paper?
Yes,
also?
I prefer Canson a lot, but there are many papers. There are many local brands also, which are available in Mumbai Fort area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those papers I am using from my college days. And I also use sometimes sanded papers, sometimes the pastel ground.
Mm-hmm. normally in every demo we have people asking about papers and material and etc. Like, but till now a lot of demos have happened in watercolor.
Yeah.
So I'm sure my audience is very familiar with all the material used in watercolors. But right now, whatever I'm seeing is there is a huge range of soft pastels. There is Sennelier, then there are gallery.
There are unison pastels are there.
Yeah.
There are Mongyo pastels, soft pastels. Then Mongyo hard pastels, Sennelier, many brands, brands. I use them together. And yes, this is what I am doing is that the exact, first of all you must have seen that I have put the bigger shape, the bigger shape here on the paper to just know the placement. Then the bigger shape to the smaller shapes, the movement you can see. The analysis matters a lot. The way we analyze the portrait.
Like, what do you mean by analysis? Is it the planes of the portrait, or you're talking about the light shapes and shadow shapes, or what about it?
Yeah. The analysis means to analyze the subject in shapes, values, and colors. So these three are the basic things when we talk about the shapes. The shape means the shape we see in the object, not what we have learned through anatomy or perspective, but the exact shape, how the object looks to us. That means the shape, and the bigger shape is at the first place, and then the smaller shapes. And then the values comes, the value we will talk on later. You can see this value, what will be this value? The value chart. You must be knowing, all of the artists, what is the value. This is around 4 and 5. This values will go. When I see at the object, I don't see a male, a female, a human, or an animal, or something like that. I only see shapes, and that matters a lot. So if we see things without any prejudices and without any knowledge, with just in ignorance, that the quality of seeing matters a lot for me. I enjoy that state of mind when we see things as they are.
You know, you've spoken something very deep right now. So it's like saying, without letting the knowing of the mind interfere.
Yeah. So
and
that
I
is
know this is a male, I know this is a face, without just letting all that interfere. Just keep observing the shapes.
Yeah. That is the bliss, that is the moment of beauty. And without that we cannot enjoy the beauty. There should be a mind which is empty, which has nothing in it, just seeing and just experiencing the moment, living in the present moment. I have done one show in 2000, must be at Jahangir Gallery, it's 2013, that the name of the show was Mirror Speaks. And I have that this basic thought of that mirror doesn't hold anything. It just reflects whatever comes in front of it, as it is. And that quality we have to improve within us. We have to become like a mirror. because art is an expression for me. It is an expression. Yes, definitely it is an expression. But the expression, where does the expression comes from? Where does it comes from? It comes from the experience, the how we experience the life, how we see the things. If our experience is already corrupted, then the expression cannot come as it should be.
It's like for a moment you're going to, not for a moment, but while being in the process of doing your artwork,
Yeah.
you're going to be detached from everything else.
Yeah. The engrossment, the dissolving the self, the ego, that matters a lot while doing the artwork or anything, any action which is very much focused on dissolving the ego, the self. That makes the action really creative, and that is art for me. If the self is there, the observer is there, then that is not the creative action. Okay, I will start coloring now. Remember the lines I have drawn here with the wine charcoal. Don't press the charcoal on the paper very heavily, because these lines we just want as a suggestive lines, as a reference lines, but this charcoal may disturb your paints, your pastels.
So now you are eliminating the unwanted lines with your needed eraser?
Yeah, this is a Creta color needed eraser.
And the charcoal is willow charcoal. It's a soft charcoal.
Yeah,
basically.
it's soft.
Doesn't leave any marks. And very easy to lift.
And for viewers, I would like to say one thing, that I have put my photo reference in a very small size. You can see it.
Yeah, actually
that
I can even show you that he's not kept the reference zoomed and big to see details. It is kept so small. He in fact made it smaller so that
the shape
I think
understanding.
he just sees the shapes and not the details.
Yeah. First of all, I am using the black hard soft pastel, hard pastel, semi-hard pastel.
We have Anil Sharma from Varanasi who's joined in.
So after the fifth number value, I am putting here around the value number 8.
Okay.
This is what we can call the blocking process, the darks.
So is like right now you're started on a mid-tone
Yeah.
and you're now filling in the darks. So it's in oils also you do the darks and then
Yeah. I go with the same method. Darks to light.
lights.
Yeah.
A very good morning to all our viewers who even joined in now, from both of us, from Parag, Borse and me.
please ask whatever questions you have, and I will definitely try to satisfy.
So at what age or how many years down your career or something you realize that it is these shepherds and the the rural people, actually not men, women, all of them, their colorful clothes, these are the things you want to depict? When did you realize
Actually,
that?
when I was in JJ, in the very first year, when the model sits in front of us, and one assignment was there that our sir has told us that you should paint a background with your memory only.
Okay.
Don't use any reference, because that time there are not so many cameras available and mobile like this.
Okay.
And he told us to paint a background with the memory. And I have painted the model. Everyone has painted, but when I start with the backgrounds, with the memory, I have easily painted the trees, banyan trees, the buffaloes, the river is flowing there, and there are some farmers are walking, and the morning sunlight was there. So everyone got surprised by looking at the painting, that how I have painted like this with so much intensity. So our teacher impressed a lot with that, and I was thinking why I can't do this, and not all the other guys here. So at that time I realized, because I born in the Karjat, a beautiful place, a village place, and this is my experiencing from my childhood.
Experiencing it.
From my childhood only, and yes, that is coming very easily from within me. So at that time I realized that this is something which I always like to paint, and I have done a project in my final year. There is a famous novel of the great writer in Marathi, Venkatesh Madgulkar. The name of that book is Bangarwadi.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have done a project on that, and Bangarwadi is a story of the shepherd's life.
Okay.
Yeah, and for that project, while doing that project, I found my style or my interesting subjects also, I can say, at that time only, and I got an award also for that project in the college.
Like if we still travel around in Maharashtra, we see them and they have retained and maintained their dressing.
Yeah.
It's not that with change of times they've taken over clothes which are contemporary and all that. They're still dressed in their dhoti and that kurta and one cloth on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And their turbans, and I mean, maybe the next generation, I don't know. They may be in trousers and shirts, but
yes, they are already now in trousers and shirts, and the older people, they only used to wear the traditional wear. So maybe the future generation will see the culture through my paintings only.
Yeah. I think we are a transition generation. We've experienced a lot of transition from a non-digital era to digital, and plus fast giving up of traditional practices is happening. So it's how much we retain consciously through our art that will matter. So now that you used hard pastel, so you filled in the darks where you definitely knew, and you made the lines also a little harder.
Yeah.
Which you're going to retain till later. Is it?
No, I will soften the edges. Maybe for the process. This is I'm doing the value where the value contrast is more. I'm putting those shapes first.
So value separation is okay.
But not the low contrast values, but the values which have high contrast, and then the middle contrast, and then the low contrast. This is the step-by-step process.
Okay.
Yeah. Bigger shapes to smaller shapes, high contrast to low contrast.
I hope the viewers are able to follow what he's trying to say. That I think I'll just repeat it for them. That he just said that he goes from bigger shapes to smaller shapes. That is one part of it. And simultaneously, when it comes to his placement of tones, he addresses the high contrast areas. He first does the places with high contrast, and slowly with mid contrast, and then the low contrast. The subtle things where there are subtle tonal differences, those are last.
Yeah. I'm using my finger for smudging.
I also see a paper stump lying here and tissue papers and all. So, do you like kind of
Sometimes I use them.
use all?
Sometimes. Not always.
Fingers are convenient.
Yeah. Means when the detail work starts after a long time, then I need those tools. So now I will move to the saturation level. Still you can see there is very desaturated colors I have put here. The saturation level is not so much, and the hue we can see it's almost just a little bit warm and not a cooler one. Cooler we can get with the gray. And
I think I will. Somebody is asking me to take images of the various stages. So I'll take it in my other mobile because right now I don't want to disturb this setup. I'll just do that.
Now the little bit saturation I'm putting here. So never put saturated values first, saturated hues first, but.
So you mean that do not rub and press in and fill in the grains of the paper, that becomes saturated, correct?
Yeah.
Right now you're just doing what you say, halka sa stroke.
Yeah. Color saturation is the intensity of the color. So yes, Hina said correctly. If we press the pastel over here, we will get more saturation. There
is more deposit of the pigment.
Yeah.
And even the grooves are filled in then.
Yeah. The texture of the paper matters a lot.
Yeah.
We should manage to keep it as it is.
Receptive for long.
Yeah. Don't press the pastel on the paper.
Pastels is one medium which even I have loved doing. I think amongst all my art material collection, I think I have maximum pastel collection.
Oh, great.
And I'm feeling, कुछ guilt feeling हो रहा है कि मैंने बहुत टाइम से अभी उसको छुआ भी नहीं है.
This is a medium. Mostly when I see pastels, so it is a medium which is the most easiest medium. When we see children, school children, small children, so they used to paint with pastels because it's very easy. It's not not difficult like watercolor. Watercolor is the most difficult medium to handle.
Like I remember, there was a phase whenever my husband travels and he's going out and like he asked me, "What do you want?" I was only asking for pastels. So I have pastels from so many places.
Yeah. Even looking at this setup,
Yeah.
the pastels, it's so a different experience.
I mean, it kinds of that urge.
Yeah.
I'm getting inspired to go back and use them.
Great.
How much is a scope of correction in this?
There are a lot of scope because this thing, this
Kneadable
eraser, yeah, it makes the magic actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as long as you have not filled in the grains too much.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, correct. Means थोड़ा भी हम प्रेस करेंगे पेस्टल को तो वो नहीं निकलेगा फिर. Till we are using it with a light handedly. Only till then we can remove it with the needed eraser.
I don't see any fixative you've kept around.
Yeah, I have fixative.
But you don't spray in between?
No,
or
I
fix
don't
it
spray in between because after spraying it's difficult to get the soft edges.
Okay.
Yeah, it's difficult to remove the pastel. It gets fixed, no?
Mm.
So I use at the last.
But you use
Yeah,
a fixative?
yeah. Because it otherwise it will damage.
But I have met a lot of artists who say that they don't use fixative because it tends to flatten out tones.
Yeah. It does, but we have to use it very carefully. Okay, then it doesn't damage so much.
You know, now we get materials available from across the globe,
Yeah.
and now even our local companies have started manufacturing. But otherwise, I remember जब हम छोटे थे तो when we were doing हम hair spray लेके
Yeah,
आते
yeah.
थे और hair spray we used to use for fixing.
charcoal, yeah. But charcoal it works, but not for pastel. It will not work for pastel. Even there are very few brands which are good fixatives, which produce good. Otherwise, there are very many brands which damages the work a lot. Because when I have started doing pastels, the college days, at that time there are very few artists who do work with pastels, and that's a great difficulty because everything I have to find out by myself.
Nobody
Fix it.
to guide.
Yeah, nobody to guide in this media. But I have learned a lot when I gone to US for the Pastel Society of America show.
Okay.
And I learned a lot from them. Many techniques.
Like I remember now we have these spray cans.
Yeah.
Earlier, I think the fixative used to come in a bottle, and I think even still it is available.
Yeah.
And what is that? That pipe kind of thing we
Yeah,
used
yeah,
to.
yeah.
What is it called?
Yeah.
We kind of blow the
Yeah.
fixative onto it.
Yeah. That's a very bad practice.
Huh.
Yeah.
The deposit of the spray would be, very uneven. But then those were the days we used to do all kinds of things. Now life has become much simpler, even for an artist that way. We are live. There is no option of Zoom when you're live. So, and I do not want to disturb Parag and go too close to his setup because he needs that space to move around a little freely. So please bear with us, we cannot zoom in more. Alka Vora is saying fabulous.
Thank you, Alga. How are you?
She's engrossed looking at your demo.
Yeah?
I'm saying she's engrossed looking at your
Oh,
demo.
okay. Thank you.
And I think there's always a lag between what we speak and
Yeah.
it reaches there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Hina, that you have come all the way from Pune.
Oh, this was long due.
Yeah.
And I'm coming very soon. I've already decided. The journey was so beautiful. I know I'm going to come again in monsoon. And finally, I'll do the trek with you.
Yeah. The treks are the real thing one should experience in Kerala.
In fact, the lane where his studio is right now, as soon as I entered the lane, I said, this place is picturesque enough to be, photographed and
Yeah.
converted into a painting.
Actually, there are two rivers in my village. One is Ullas River and one is Page River. And the Page River is a full year. The river is flowing with a crystal clear water.
Lovely.
You can see. Even nowadays, you can see the river because the river comes from the Tata Power Station.
Okay.
Yeah, because in summer they have to create a lot of electricity, and for they have to drop a lot of water from the
Okay.
dam, and the water comes to these rivers, the Page River, and going to the river and swimming for 2 hours is my great joy for me, and I do it a lot of times.
Swimming in the river.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's you, and also I've seen who's this? Pramod Kurlekar also do that.
Yeah.
Both of you have been doing this, enjoying nature
Yeah.
and swimming in rivers and
Trekking.
yeah.
Yeah. Swimming in the river is just a great joy for me. It's very similar like painting. The same joy I get from there.
Inayat Shidwankar is saying beautiful, Parag.
Thank you. Now you can see the saturation at a half tone. Means if we talk it like a shadow and light light sense, then it's we can say it's a half tone area. It's come under the light area. It's a half tone, a saturated part.
So these are also what you are having here. I'll just lift one and show
Yeah.
to them. This is Mungi only.
Yeah.
This and that.
Yeah.
So I am just showing you the pastels which he's using. One is this. This is a round pastel. This is from Mungyo Gallery.
Yeah.
And
This semi-hard pastel from Mungyo.
and then there is this also, which is also from Mungyo only. But these are
Semi-hard.
square pastels
Yeah.
also. Semi-hard pastels.
You can see I'm coming with the saturation, color saturation here.
We have Rick Guram from Nepal who's joined in to watch you.
Thank you everyone for watching.
So I like these, even the Rajasthani people,
Yeah.
they give you the same kind of
Yeah.
pleasure to paint the skin
Yeah.
and the turbans and
Yeah. I have painted a lot the Rajasthani subject.
okay,
Many portraits and even the groups also.
okay.
But I always I enjoy going to the villages, talking to the people, the villagers, having some chat with them and living with them, experiencing their different natures. And yes, I enjoy it a lot. I do a lot of photography while my tour, and even I do sketching over there, live sketching over there. Whenever I get some more time, the model is ready to shoot for long, I do some drawings there, and that's a fun. That's really fun.
But how has been the interaction with the local villagers? Like, are they receptive enough to welcome
Different
people
experiences.
from outside and allow them to photograph and draw and paint them? Because I also keep profusely traveling and
Yeah.
being a female,
Yeah.
photographing another female,
Yeah.
people don't oppose that much. Okay, sometimes they will question why are you photographing, for what reason and all that. But as a male, you going and if you have to photograph,
A
how much
female.
of resistance have you faced?
Lot of resistance, but I never go and shoot the photograph directly. First of all, I go to the people, I talk with them, sit with them for a while, and then I
Get permission to
get
photograph.
permission to photograph.
Okay.
But there are many areas where lots of photographers goes there to do photography. So the people are very much habitual with that.
Okay, now they are getting used to
it.
it.
Means if you go to Pushkar Mela,
Yeah, okay.
there are many photographers there. So it's not a new thing for them that someone is taking photo of them.
Okay, so when you're actually going to the local villages,
Yeah.
that time probably you
Yeah.
may find some resistance.
Yes. Even while photographing a female, that's the difficult part in Rajasthan. Because they still have the burqa and the parda.
Parda.
Yeah. and they don't like to photograph a woman, especially young woman. So as going for, first of all, I go there for painting purpose only, but as I spent time with talking with the villagers, with the people, I come across so many things which is actually India. What is the exact situation in India? Yeah, there is a lot of learning of the social things also with that. People are in so much misery.
That's like experiencing the realities of life.
Yeah.
Ground level realities.
Yeah, ground level realities. It's not that I'm now doing painting, I'm enjoying the colors, I'm standing in the AC, air conditioned room, but the things are not such with these people. Very tough life they are living. So the value I am seeing there, it's around 3, 2 and 3. But I'm not directly putting that value here. I'm using the 4 number value first.
Okay. Yes, friends, we are going to save this demo for those who joined in late, so you will get to watch it later also. It will be available on the group only.
The hue doesn't matter a lot, but the value matters a lot. Remember that the value is very important, not the hue. Hue you can change anytime. It's very easy to change the hue, but value, it's really difficult. So always concentrate on the exact value you can put. As you can see, I have put one value at many places here, but there is a hue difference, a bit hue difference there. I can manage it after.
Friends, the reference picture has been shared this morning on the HBAV painting competition group where the demo is happening, live session is happening right now. So all those who have missed from the beginning also, you can see this video later on the group.
Remember friends, you can see me painting continuously this portrait, but it's just because of the demo is going on. Otherwise, I must have taken at least 3 breaks in between doing this portrait. Doing continuously is not good. You should have some gaps over there.
If you, I mean, which way? Are you tired? You want
No,
to take
I'm
a
not
break?
tired.
You
I'm
can
not
always
tired.
take a break.
No, I'm
but
not
at,
tired.
or does the work also requires you to take?
We can just go ahead with doing that. Otherwise, it will take too much time. Because my breaks are not so small. They are big breaks.
So you need to step back and
Yeah.
re-evaluate your work.
Yes. The effect I have got there.
Okay.
Yeah. The understanding of forms and colors, the values, when we see them in small size, when we go step back, we can see them clearly, correctly. What effect we have got.
But from the technical point of view, like of doing a pastel, like when we do a watercolor, we need to probably wait for one layer to dry before you do the next layer.
Yeah.
Or in oils also, maybe you want some areas to be dry before you go ahead.
Yeah.
But pastels doesn't demand that in any way, that you let it rest for a while and then.
No, nothing like
So
that.
it's not the demand of the medium.
No, not at all. Even enjoying the painting, I think that the gaps, the breaks are very much important.
Yeah, I mean, you would like to enjoy
Yeah.
the stage, each stage
yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. And the painting speaks with us.
Correct.
Yeah, that talk is very important for me. The talk with my work, with my painting. That is a visual talk. That is not a verbal talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. The talk without words. Even while doing a portrait, many times I do one thing, that doing for some time, spending 2 hours on a portrait, I will like to go outside the studio and move at some places, go to my home or have my lunch, and then I come after 2-3 hours and see the portrait again. And yes, I see many things there which I have to work on. So the gap is very much important.
It's like they say, looking at your work with a fresh eye.
Yeah. It's very similar that when we go to a sweet shop, we test one sweet. After testing 2 sweets or 3 sweets, we cannot test more than that.
Even at the perfume thing.
Yeah, even the
After
perfume thing, same.
Couple of fragrance, then you need those coffee beans to.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Vijay Deshpande, who's also joined in to watch you.
Yeah. I'm not painting the eye. I am painting the shape and the value.
There's Geeta Raju asking.
Yeah.
She's asking that is there any difference in the final outcome by keeping the board vertical or horizontal, or is it just a personal preference?
It's a personal preference, I think. It's not.
But at the same time, it is also one way a practical thing. No? The
Yeah.
excess powder will just drop by without contaminating the surface.
Yeah. That's true.
because I think there's a lot of pigment
Yeah.
flying around also when you're working.
Yes, yes.
Keeping it vertical helps the surface remain cleaner.
To understand the exact values which we have in the pastel box, the available shades, to understand the values of those pastels is the most important part of that. This because achieving the values with the mixing of two colors is not so much recommended. So one should be aware about that what exact value we are using here, what the value of this pastel in the box, what is the value of this pastel, is it 5 number, is it 6 number or 7? Yes, it's around 6 and 7 in between, it's not 5.
I think another thing is when you're doing portraits and figurative and all, it's always more wiser also, I feel, to keep it vertical, isn't it? Otherwise you can, go wrong in your proportions while drawing also, correct?
Actually,
that vision,
yes.
that perspective itself changes.
Yeah.
When you have it
Correct.
perpendicular to your
Yes.
eyes, I mean.
एक्चुअली
you will
हमारे
not-
देखने का जो हमारा जो पूरा आई का जो ये है
हाँ।
नजरिया, वो इस तरह से है, वो हॉरिजॉन्टल है.
हाँ,
हम इस तरह से ज्यादा अच्छे से अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं, ऐसे ऊपर नीचे देखने से.
हाँ.
वर्टिकल जब होगा तो मुश्किल जाएगा उसको अंडरस्टैंड करना.
It's like you will not go wrong much in the perspective of the face also. Plus, I think the light falling on your paper
Yeah.
also remains undisturbed, like constant. There are a lot of advantages now. I mean, just the fact that she's asked that question,
Yeah.
to think back, I feel keeping it vertical makes a lot of practical sense.
Actually, we learn a lot. So always good to have questioning mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends, we have already spoken in detail about the material used in the beginning of the video. So those who joined in late, please bring all the details.
Little bit hue I'm adding here, a different hue for the lips, but remember it should not be too much, just a feel of it, just increasing little bit warm.
Friends, in this demo, we are only going to answer questions regarding what Parag Borse is right now giving us a demo, that is soft pastels, a portrait in soft pastels. We will not be giving you other answers, please. Thank you.
It will be interesting to know what they are asking the other questions.
The other question somebody is asking is, what is the difference between working with pastels versus other mediums such as acrylic, watercolors and oils?
Okay. I think I have answered it before. It's the easiest medium, the most easiest medium. For getting some hard edges, I use the semi-hard pastels here.
But like this entire range to your right is all semi-hard pastels.
Yeah.
So it's not the hard pastels.
No. It's
Hard pastels also tend to leave a mark more deeper, correct?
Yeah.
So you're avoiding them.
Yeah.
Parag Borse is also into teaching. So anybody who wishes to learn, he does conduct online classes also. Parag, you can also speak something about your classes.
Yeah. So I have an yearly course. It's an online yearly course which is on Zoom, and I have 45 sessions total in the course. Each session is of 3 hours, and every month there are 4 sessions like that, and the 2 sessions are always in consecutive sessions for lecture and demonstration, and the other 2 sessions of the month are for guidance and critic sessions. And I cover mostly the subject I cover over here are portrait, landscape, abstract and creative painting in this course, and I cover the mediums like pastels, soft pastels, then charcoal, oil and acrylic. That is all. And
so it's like the entire 1 year long program.
Yeah, long program.
There are not options of doing one module and.
Yeah, the people who only want to do pastels, yes, they can join it for the pastel sessions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that option is also.
Yeah, that's open. But I will always recommend for the new beginners, they should attend just once the yearly course, full yearly course, because which medium you are good at, you don't know, definitely don't know.
So it's also like discovering.
Yeah,
You've
discovering.
not experimented, you don't know what you're good at.
Yeah. And this is the 3rd year of my course. Last year I have done a group show of my yearly course students in Singapore, and we have got really great response for the show, and many works are sold there, lots of appreciation, and my students, yes, they are now going great and achieving a lot of success in their career. One of my students from US, yes, her work is selected for the Seattle Art Festival.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
Great achievement.
Yeah. Even they are doing their solo shows now in the many art galleries.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your days and timings?
Yes, they mostly I conduct the lectures on weekdays.
Weekdays.
At morning 10 to 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the timing. And there are students from US, Singapore, Dubai, Australia, Muscat, India, many places all over the world.
Okay, so that morning 10
Yeah.
is a time which kind of
Yeah. So sun never sets in the Parag Borse's classes.
okay.
Just joking.
They want to know how can they connect with you for the course.
Yeah. Please contact on my WhatsApp number. I will
I
definitely revert
think
back.
even
Yeah.
your Instagram and
I have my Instagram, that is
link
Parag
must
Borse
be have-
0. Yeah. Instagram handle, the Parag Borse 0. And Facebook you can see as Parag Borse.
So you keep sharing all your details on
Yeah.
online, correct?
Yeah. But I have learned a lot from my students too, because I believe that the learning is the process. It's not about that I am a teacher and they are a student. I don't feel like that. Even I am a student and I am also learning many things from them.
I think you're very right on that, because I think even I initially started by teaching young children,
Yeah.
and to teach children I realized after starting that you need to simplify everything, and
Yeah.
to simplify anything
Yeah.
you need to have a fundamentals
Wow.
very clear.
Wow.
So
Great said. Very well said,
Otherwise-
Hina. Really great.
like you cannot simplify for them,
Yeah.
and I think teaching them helped me put everything in place.
Yeah.
So it was like a great learning for me.
Yeah. Same here.
And adults can be polite, they can be diplomatic,
Yeah.
whatever, but children will say things on your face.
Yeah.
So or they will question also such weird things, like you can't imagine that they would question something like that.
Yes.
So you have to have it all right and clear, so otherwise you can't even have answers for all the questions.
Very true.
I'm sure you must have come across some adults also who are like that.
Yeah. Now a little bit more red, more yellow in it.
How much do you like to play with colors and not necessarily match with the skin color?
Yeah.
Color, I'm not saying the tones, the color.
Okay.
So, how much do you experiment that way?
Yeah, actually, in my yearly course, I have just told that I have an abstract course for abstract paintings. Exactly that subject, abstract, where you can play with the colors, with different textures, with unknown shapes, which you are not imitating from other shapes, but the shapes you found very accidentally, or they comes within from you, inside from you. So those kind of shapes you learn in abstract world. The unknown shapes you deal with a lot. And yes, I play at there. If I go with the background, you can see my play with here also. Yeah, exactly.
But
and yes,
not you don't in Fauvism.
yeah.
They don't necessarily use the skin colors as
Yeah.
they kind of would put a green and blue and pink and purple and all kinds of colors on the skin.
Yeah.
So do you experiment that way
Yeah,
also?
I will like to experiment. I have experimented like that, done many works like that. But I like the real skin tone to capture them.
Okay.
Okay, that's the fun. And because when we start adding the colors from our memory, or just to add some different colors, the thing is that we move away from the reality, and which is the reality, which is always moving and changing. And because we use the colors from memory, after few works we go repetitive, and that's really boring thing for me. And I want the newness which I see in reality, because a same person after just 1 minute or from a different angle at the same time is not the same. The values and the tones are not the same. It will.
I know, even the colors also, if maybe they are just moving around and there is some other color, fabric or a prop behind,
Continuously
the reflected
changing.
light would keep changing. I mean, so that's, you believe more in doing from observations, what you see.
Yeah. Because that is the learning actually. The learning from the process of learning is from the out to in. Okay? From the out to in. And the expression is from into out. So I like to learn a lot. And there is one famous philosopher. His name is Heraclitus. He said that one can step in a single river only at one time. Okay.
One can stay single
Step in the river only at one time.
Okay.
Okay. Means you cannot step the two steps in one river, because the river is continuously flowing.
Okay. So by then the change has
already happened. The change has already happened.
Okay, yeah.
So even I go ahead and say, even one cannot step one time in the river also, because one step is also the river is changing. And that's the beauty of this existence. And there I am in love with this existence because of its the anitya, the swabha. We can see when the people who have done the vipassana, they must have familiar with the word that the change. The Buddha said that is the change is the impermanence is the reality, the truth. Nothing is
I was
permanent.
reading one book while coming here.
Yeah.
Because the journey was long, so I had just picked up a book to read on the way. And in that book, there was one line which said, history never repeats itself.
Yeah.
Humans do.
Wow.
So it's like that. We say history repeats itself, but it's not that.
Yeah.
At any point of time, nothing is same.
Yeah.
We humans keep ruminating and repeating and
Yeah.
yes.
Because there is thought. The thought is the thing which corrupts us. So we should be aware about the thought. And because thought is something which is like plastic. Yeah, this is the knowledge, we can say. The part of
When
knowledge.
did you do Vipassana?
I have done a long back. I have done it 2 times. But
Okay.
first I have done almost in 2006. 2006, yes. And the second time 2012.
Where Igatpuri?
Igatpuri, yeah.
Both the times?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
Igatpuri
wow.
only.
Now we have centers all over.
Yeah, yeah.
But still people, there are some people who would say nothing, I mean you should do it in Igatpuri.
Okay.
Is that, I mean, have you also heard people say that?
Yes. Means one should do Vipassana only at Igatpuri, huh?
Igatpuri, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That place is really a different place. Different waves are there, vibrations we can feel there. Actually, there is a big mountain over there, and that's the beauty of that place. That when ऊँट आ गया पहाड़ के नीचे बोलते हैं ना, the ego disappears.
But then it also, then the artist in you will not keep quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, the internal talking is still happening.
That's actually
that
we
chatter
we have to deal with, because there when we go to Vipassana there is one thing, that is the Arya Maun. Okay, the Arya Maun is just even when we chat, when we think inside, not expressing, that is also not Maun. That is we are talking. So we have to get out of it. We have to observe it.
No,
What
but
that
I
chatting.
somehow feel, once an artist is always an artist. You look at anything, the artist in you triggers and that conversation happens.
Yeah. But there is a beautiful story I remember of. I have told it many times. You must have heard it. That the story of the Akbar and Tansen.
Huh?
Yeah, I have told many times.
We can tell
Means
that for our viewers.
Yeah, that is the story of what exactly an artist mind is. So ऐसा था कि अकबर के दरबार में बहुत सारे रत्न थे, हमें पता है. एक था तानसेन, जो अकबर जिसके प्यार में था, जिसके गाने का वो बहुत बड़ा फैन था. तो एक दिन ऐसे ही अकबर की आंखें भर आई उसका गाना सुन के, और उसने तानसेन को पूछा कि तानसेन, तुम इतने बढ़िया गाते हो कि शायद ही मैं सोच सकता हूँ कि तुमसे अच्छा गाने वाला इस दुनिया में पहले कभी हुआ होगा, और बाद में भी होना असंभव है. इतना तुम बढ़िया गाते हो. तो मैं आज मेरे दिल में एक सवाल उठा है, वो ये है कि इतना बढ़िया तुम गाते हो, लेकिन तुमने किसी से सीखा तो होगा जरूर गाना. तो अगर तुम इतना बढ़िया गाते हो तो तुम्हारे जो टीचर होंगे वो कैसे गाते होंगे, और वो है क्या जिंदा? तो अकबर ने कहा हाँ, ही इज स्टिल अलाइव. तानसेन ने कहा कि यस, वो अलाइव है, और वो मैं सीखा हूँ उनसे बहुत. तो अकबर ने कहा तो अब तक तुमने मुझे उनसे मिलवाया क्यों नहीं? इतने बड़े सिंगर और उनसे मुझे मेरी मुलाकात क्यों नहीं की? प्लीज़ उन्हें बुला लो, मैं जो चाहे वो कीमत उन्हें दूंगा, उनको नवाजूंगा. तो हम उनका ऑनर करेंगे यहाँ पे बुला के, तो प्लीज़ उन्हें बुला लो. तो तानसेन ने कहा नहीं, वो ऐसे बुलाने पे जाते नहीं, और वो पैसे के लिए गाते भी नहीं. और इट्स डिफिकल्ट कि वो कहाँ पे होंगे अभी वो भी पता करना, क्योंकि उनका एक घर नहीं है कोई भी. वो ट्रैवल घूमते रहते हैं एक जगह से दूसरी जगह. तो मैं पता करवाता हूँ वो कहाँ पे है और आपको बताता हूँ. फिर उसने पता करवाया, एक नदी का एक सूखा जो बैंक है, रिवर बैंक है, उसमें वो रहते थे, और अर्ली मॉर्निंग 3 बजे वो गाना शुरू करते थे. तो ऐसा हिस्ट्री में फर्स्ट टाइम हुआ कि एक इतना बड़ा बादशाह और वो छुप के पत्थर के पीछे बैठे हैं झाड़ी में, तानसेन और अकबर, और वो गाना सुन रहे हैं। 3 बजे उन्होंने गाना स्टार्ट किया और उजाला होने तक वो गाते रहे। थोड़ा थोड़ा अंधेरा था, थोड़ा थोड़ा उजाला था, और जब वो वापस लौटने लगे अपने दरबार की तरफ, अपने घर की तरफ, अकबर और तानसेन, तो रथ में जैसे जैसे उजाला होता गया, घर नज़दीक आता गया, राजा का राजमहल नज़दीक आता गया, तो तानसेन ने देखा कि अकबर के आंखों में आंसू है। तो तानसेन ने पूछा, आप रो क्यों रहे हो? उसने कहा, ये तो खुशी के आंसू है। तानसेन ने कहा कि कुछ तो बात है, आप मुझे बता नहीं रहे, कुछ तो बात है, आप प्लीज बोलिए क्या बात है। तब अकबर ने तानसेन से कहा कि अब मैं एक अलग उलझन में फंस गया हूं ये गाना सुनने के बाद। उलझन ये है कि तानसेन, तुम अपने गुरु के पांव की धूल भी नहीं हो। उनका जो गाना है, इतने ग्रेट वो सिंगर है कि तुम तो उनके सामने कुछ भी नहीं हो। तो अब मुझे एक और सवाल दिल में मेरे आया है, तो ये है कि इतना बड़ा फर्क क्यों है तानसेन? ये फर्क इतना बड़ा क्यों है? तो तानसेन का जवाब पूरी ये स्टोरी का जो ये है, हम मर्म कह सकते हैं उसे, तो उसका जवाब ये था इस पे कि मैं आनंद मिलने के लिए गाता हूं और वो आनंद मिला है इसलिए गा रहे हैं। दैट इज द डिफरेंस। सो हमें ये देखना चाहिए कि हमारा लाइफ जो है, इज इट मिजरेबल और हम खुश है, हम सेटिस्फाइड है, क्योंकि हमारा पेंटिंग उसी से जन्मेगा। हमारा पूरा जो एक्सप्रेशन है वो यहाँ से ही आने वाला है। तो हमें उसे ठीक किए बिना हमारा एक्सप्रेशन नहीं ठीक हो पाएगा, तब तक हम सही मायने में आर्टिस्ट नहीं बन पाएंगे, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। तो वो इसीलिए हम थॉट पे वापस आते हैं। ये थॉट पे वर्क करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम क्या है, व्हाट वी आर।
So improve the self before the self expression.
Yeah.
Wonderful. मेरे पिछले 3 डेमोज में somewhere the artists have started speaking philosophy, and though they say we are not philosophers. I think when you slowly start accepting your reality as it is, you're open to seeing things as they are also.
Yes. And it's the most difficult thing to see things as they are. It's most difficult. It looks ordinary, but it's the most difficult. Because we have to drop our mind for that, to see as things as they are. The mind which is made up of thought, of the different identities about the self.
Friends who are watching us, any questions? We went little into philosophy and other stories, but I hope you understood the crust of what we were trying to say. Geeta Raju is saying beautiful work and beautiful story.
Thank you, Geeta.
She's saying the philosophy complements the work. Nirmal Saxena is saying, I'm enjoying the process. Thank you, friends.
How much more time we have? Hina?
We have time.
Is it 1 hour we have or half an hour?
It's 12:51 right now.
Okay.
So maybe another 20 minutes, half an hour.
Okay.
They're asking, do you use pencils to make sharp edges?
No, I never use pencils. Because the pencils gives very conscious strokes there, and I don't like those strokes, those lines.
Anup Sinha is saying, Parag sir, it's nice story for our life.
It's same for me when I heard it. Because we, as artists, we always focused on the expression, and after a time, we become expressionist, and that's there the problem begins. And we think to be expressive is the correct thing in the life, but after some time we realize that not the expression, but the ability to experience, that matters a lot, not the expression. And when we are busy with in expressing, are we learning at the same time? That is my question.
Okay.
While we are expressing, are we learning? When I am talking with you, I am expressing something, but is it that at the same time I am learning, or my learning has stopped
Okay.
because I am in the expression?
Okay.
In which state we are in the more state of learning?
So when there is an exchange happening,
Yeah.
or learning plus expressing, again another learning. I mean, so that you call that as your experience. So what you take away as the experience is what matters.
Yeah. Means when we are in the mode, in the silence, full silence, without thoughts, then we are in the full learning. We have the full capacity of learning.
Receptive.
Fully receptive, listening, seeing things as they are. So that quality matters a lot. But day by day, as an artist, we become going on expressionist more and more, and that's the tragic, I think. That tragedy, yes, with the artist, and we have to always.
We're failing to learn.
Yeah, after some time,
receptive.
we are not receptive. We are just trying to express.
So we are actually in a way stuck in a mold and expressing that
Yeah.
place where we are stuck.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. So
This
we're not
is our talking.
evolving as a human. you're
Yeah,
trying to say.
correct. That's the story about the Akbar and Tansin, what I just told you. That the real joy
So
is
in
in
a way, then
silence.
even the expression needs to be constantly evolving. As long as you
Yeah.
are evolving as a human,
Yeah.
irrespective while doing your art or outside, anywhere. But as a human, if you are evolving, your expression is also evolving.
Yeah. Then only your expression will evolve. If you are not evolving as a human being, then the expression will not going to evolve. Or you will become only like a parrot.
Stagnant.
Yeah. You can talk a lot. You have a lot of words, lot of knowledge, but there is nothing in it.
Okay.
So it should be like Kabir, that he is not a very learned person, but he said that पोथी पढ़ जगह मुआ पंडित भया न कोई ढाई अक्षर प्रेम के पढ़े सो पंडित कोई. So the what matters is that what you as a human being Do you have love in your heart?
I think as artists we are lucky that we are able to express in ways beyond words also.
Yeah.
Like there's one person saying that not all artists are able to express in words, but we don't need to express in words.
Yeah.
Our art will speak. That is our expression, correct?
Yeah.
But then they are appreciating the way you are able to word out the whole. That's a sign of a good teacher actually. When there is a teacher in you, I think that allows you to express in words also, because you are always communicating with your students.
Yes.
And so the fact, yes, not all artists are able to put everything in words. They cannot be good teachers, but because you are a good teacher, I can see that you are able to express everything in words.
Thank you. That's a great compliment.
जो सिखाने में एक बार they say once एक प्रोफेसर या एक टीचर को माइक दे दिया हाथ में या फिर कहीं भी बातें करने का मौका दे दिया तो they can speak at length. So वो उनके अंदर का प्रोफेसर निकल ही आता है बाहर. So it's like that. You can speak. That's the whole thing.
But I always love to speak about silence.
Yeah, you speak about silence. Maybe you're experiencing enough moments of silence. I'm seeing your studio the way it is. You have that enough me time, that contemplation time, being with yourself in silence. There's no noise, no disturbance coming from anywhere around. There is one huge window on my left hand side which he's also blocked it off with one black drape.
Yeah.
So there is no outside visual distraction also for him. To disturb his silence, huh? Like you didn't prefer to keep natural light on or whatever.
Yeah, that is because
it's not constant.
It's not constant. That's the main thing. And I mostly work in the studio. I like to work in the studio. And if I want to work after the sunset, so that will make a big problem.
Does it disturb your light?
Yeah. You can see getting the soft edges.
Yeah.
It's so simple with the pastels. So easily one can get the soft edges here.
So this is the same setup on which you also do your oils?
Yes, on the same easel. I have just finished a 5x5 canvas with palette knife, spatula finish oil. You can see the painting on my Instagram. I have put the video on my Instagram.
So when did you start? You said in college you did, and you will after college you did, or during college, and you said you learned a lot of stuff in pastels. But you also said that you learned lots in the like for our viewers. What were your initial disasters or mistakes which you made while handling pastels?
It's not about while handling pastel. The initial mistakes, which a big mistake, I will call it a big mistake. The mistake is the approach of the painting, the approach in seeing. That's the biggest mistake I have struggled a lot with that in my college days, and very much confused about that, because all the teachers and the course, the art course, it's interested in making you perfect with the technique, with the medium, with the colors and everything. But the basics of the learning and seeing, no one talks about it.
How do you see?
How do you see, and what should be the approach? Means, one stage in my college days, I thought that when I will be more knowledgeable, when I will have great knowledge about anatomy, perspectives, and color theories, I can become a good artist. And that's a very wrong approach. It's never like that. Instead, when you become empty, when you have more innocence in you, less knowledge, and you can see the things as they are, because the anatomy will always drive you away from the reality, from the things in front of you, even the knowledge of perspective. So that's the thing. Perspective also, it's not the correct approach of seeing through the perspective point of view also. One should see things as just as a shape. I know it's a big statement.
It's like you're trying to say whether you know the rules of perspective or not.
Yeah.
Like if you know the rules, you are just trying to subconsciously be guided only by those rules, and you're failing to see.
Knowledge
and
corrupts
observe.
our seeing. What I am saying that knowledge corrupts our seeing. Okay. Means if I have knowledge that the human figure is divided in 6 heads or 7 heads, anything, I will stick to that. I will stick to that. Even if we follow Andrew Loomis, okay, we know the ball and the line, and then the cuts on at the ear side, then the center line of the eyebrow, then the measurement from eyebrow to nose, tip of the nose, then tip of the nose to chin. If we know that, but when in reality there is so much difference in every face. It's not like that.
I mean, those subtle differences creates that individuality in each. Like some, and yes, nature is not always going,
It has no rules.
Yeah.
Existence is very.
I mean, it's the important guideline to know when you're just beginning. But I think as you evolve, it is you observe how something goes away from all those rules.
Actually, I would like to tell you one story. There was a great musician, and उसके जो क्लास थी, उसके क्लास के बाहर एक उसने 2 ये लगाए तख्ते लगा के रखे थे कि जो भी कहीं से सीख के आया है तो उसको स्टूडेंट्स ने पूछा ये क्या है, हम पहले ही पैसा इतना खर्चा कर चुके सीखने में और आप डबल फीस यहाँ पे लगा रहे हो, हम इतने सीख के और जिन्होंने सीखा नहीं उनकी फीस आधी। तो आपका जो नॉलेज है उसे मिटाने के लिए, आपकी स्लेट पूरी ब्लैंक करने के लिए मुझे बहुत डिफिकल्ट है आपके ऊपर लिखना। आप वो समझ ही नहीं पाओगे बात को, क्योंकि आप पहले ही इतने नॉलेज से भरे हुए हो। तो मैं बिलीव करता हूँ कि टिल द लास्ट मोमेंट ऑफ माई लाइफ आई शुड बी लाइक द ब्लैंक स्लेट, दैट द जो कि त्यो धर दी चतरिया, कबीर सेज इट। So when we approach through anatomy perspective, we are not seeing the things as they are. We are not seeing the shapes exactly what they are, but we are seeing with our knowledge, our prejudices. And I have done a lot anatomy practices. I have almost done all the books with the Androlomes, Victor Pirard. Then there is one man, Wilpu, drawing manual. That is I was a great fan of him. And many artists who, yes, there is a use of anatomy, knowledge of anatomy. There is a different, but that is when you are doing the memory drawing. Okay, with the memory, yes, it will help you a lot. For illustrations, yes, it's very much essential part. While doing the illustrations, one must know the anatomy, one must know the perspective. But while doing the live, or you are putting the things as they are, it will be useless, or it will make
No,
it
but
will be
then
a great
as you
difference.
said,
Yeah.
the skill to what do you see, how do you see,
Yeah.
somewhere when these basics are given to you,
Yeah.
that aha moment, oh yes,
Yeah.
I mean that also happens because otherwise the process is very long till you reach that level that okay, this is the right way of seeing also, that realization for it to happen also.
Yeah.
I mean the journey is very,
I will put in simple words. The Upanishads comes after Vedas. The Vedanta always come after Vedas.
yeah.
That's the thing.
So I mean the fact that you have been from JJ, you have had some exposure to so many things which happens in a art school is different. Whereas see, the same conversation otherwise somebody else would interpret as कि there is no need for any art school, there is no need, you can just be an artist. There are very exceptional people, okay, तुलसीदास जैसे creators हर जगह नहीं हो सकते हैं, जो
Actually, what should be how should be the art school? I always think about it. That what should be the real art school? What should be the learning of art? Is it very much similar? It should not be similar like science and commerce. It should be like very much what we can say. We should just create the situation where one can learn. We cannot teach anything in the art, but we can create a situation where one can learn easily. And the environment, that matters a lot. Where the great artists, the senior artists are working surrounded by them, and what I am saying is not that we should think about this. I am not saying that this is only the way, but whatever I have said in this lecture, I just mean that it should be thought. We should think about it.
True.
Yeah, one should not believe what I am saying, but we should question it and think about it.
Like there are some very senior artists who say art school कुछ होना नहीं चाहिए.
No, I am not.
But
agree
then you
with
have.
I am not agreeing.
Or
with
you are also a
product of art school.
product. Yeah. So.
No, actually, I think they must be saying that the art school should have a different approach, total different approach in learning of art. Means they are.
लेकिन ABC सीखे बिना.
Yeah.
वर्ड से खेल ABCD सीखेंगे तो वर्ड्स आएगा I mean फिर उसके साथ खेलना कैसे वो बात की बात है ना, लेकिन वो थोड़े बहुत तो ABC और वर्ड्स सीखना पड़ेगा ना बिल्कुल नहीं सीख के then your journey is long. वो self learning and आजकल बहुत लोग बोलते हैं, even I fail to agree with people these days that they say I'm self-taught. Everybody is self-taught. Even a person who goes to an art college also may be self-taught. But you cannot say I'm 100% self-taught. You are getting influenced by watching so many YouTube videos. You are learning from watching people.
Actually, saying self-taught is just we are nourishing our ego.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
don't want to.
You don't
we
have
don't.
to.
We are not. What we can say. हम उतने humble नहीं हैं कि हम वो एक्सेप्ट कर सके कि हम किसी से सीखे.
करेक्ट.
ये हम्बलनेस हमें नहीं है. तो
आपने फॉर्मल ट्रेनिंग शायद आर्ट स्कूल की ना ली हो,
लेकिन
बट यू आर लर्निंग प्राइवेट क्लासेस में.
you are just seeing a painting of other artist. It's a learning.
Yeah, so everything cannot be claimed as self-taught. मुझे वो डिस्टिंक्शन वो जो लगा दिया है आजकल, I somehow feel कि I mean I went to a art college, but I think I learned lots after stepping out of the art college.
The learning continues till the last moment of our life. One must be humble to admit it, to accept it, that I have learned a lot from many people, many artists, even my home.
And I mean, sadly, these days, art galleries are defining artists only by the education. It's very sad and pathetic thing. Like I would like to say right now that artists are not just necessarily a product of an art school.
Yeah.
There's sometimes you see brilliant artists who have not been to an art school.
Yeah.
I think the work art galleries should be looking at the work more than a CV which says whether they are a product of an art school or not.
Very true.
If there is a committee which decides who should be displaying, your committee should have that ability to judge art as it is, for what it is, not by, then you don't need a CV to say that this person is a art college student or not. I mean, then the committee's thing I would challenge, knowledge.
Yeah.
You should look at art and know. I see sometimes pathetic art being displayed in some art galleries just because, and they have got that opportunity just because they are art school product. I mean, that's rubbish.
Yes, true. You have asked the very significant question that where did I struggled in my earlier days. Yes, the thing is that I'm very much focused with the mediums, and that's the great mistake we do. Many artists do in the process, that one should not be more focused with the medium, but the way, the approach of the painting means what should be the approach, the bigger forms to the smaller shapes, and there are many things. The approach of seeing, that should be the main concern of in the
What you said earlier was brilliant when you said that your high contrast, then you go to mid contrast, and then you go to low contrast. That's
Those
If
steps.
our viewers are thinking about what he actually said, you will clearly get a guideline of how a portrait or any subject for that matter should be approached.
Yeah, it must be it's maybe in oil, in acrylic, anything in any medium, but the approach matters a lot.
Suddenly our audience has become silent, I think. They're so engrossed in watching you. There are no questions happening. There are more people joining in, but they're all just watching. You've taken them to a trance. How much do you see value in participating in all these various international portrait or in these pastel society competitions and other? Do you still do that? Or do you
I have done,
encourage your students to do
Yeah,
these things?
I am encouraging my students to do that. It's just for the marketing purpose, but not to see where you are. There many people says that you should participate in the competition so that you will know where you are or what stage you are. So that's not the thing. What I see in this competition, but yes, people get a good platform to come to the light, and if you are getting some more exposure in our other countries to different people, then that's good. One should participate in those competitions. But yes, competition doesn't decide where you are, what you are. That's the thing. Only you should decide what you are and where you are. No one else can say to you.
But your journey is anyways ongoing, correct? Maybe wherever you are.
Yeah.
You yourself will probably be judgmental about it and know, okay, I need to go this. My journey needs to take what turn also.
Yeah.
But do you want water?
No. Others cannot decide who you are.
Hmm?
Others can never decide. Other people can never decide who you are. Only you have to search for it, and you have to find out. Then only the expression will be very true, very unique. When we try to be like what the people want us to be, then the expression corrupts because of that. हम अपनी जो आइडेंटिटी हम अपनी जो रियल एक यूनिक वैल्यू है उसे मिस करने लगते हैं उसकी वजह से, क्योंकि हम दूसरों की तरह दूसरों को जैसे चाहिए वैसे बनने की जब कोशिश करते हैं कि कंपटीशन में कौन सा वर्क को अवार्ड मिलेगा, मैं उस तरह का पेंटिंग बनाऊंगा, खत्म हो गई बात फिर. यू आर नो मोर एन आर्टिस्ट नाउ, यू आर जस्ट अ पॉलिटिशियन नाउ. जब कंपटीशन में अवार्ड के लिए ही पेंटिंग करना शुरू होता है तो वो गलत बात है. पेंटिंग हमारे जॉय के लिए होना चाहिए, हमारे सेटिस्फेक्शन के लिए होना चाहिए. हाँ, एक बाय प्रोडक्ट की तरह उसका अगर आपको अवार्ड मिलता है, एक्सपोजर मिलता है तो वो बहुत अलग बात है, लेकिन वो पर्पस नहीं होना चाहिए उसके पीछे. और मुझे लगता है कि अच्छा आर्ट वर्क कभी भी अपने जॉय से ही आता है, तैयार होता है. आप अगर खुद एंजॉय नहीं कर रहे हो मैंने I have put warms in the light areas, not used the cools in the light areas, just because it's the direct light and we can see the warms in the subject. Those are not so cool. There are many people who must be thinking that if I introduce some cools there, that will be better because it looks more beautiful with the cools. But
warm and cool colors is also like not many beginners pay attention to that. I mean, warm and cool colors in the sense, I'm not meaning literally those reds and blues, but a warm blue and a cool blue, a warm red and a cool red. Like a red can also be warm also and cool also. So yeah, same way the greys also can be a warm grey also and a cool grey also. So when you're picking up your colors, what are you using?
So I will put it in another way, that don't see warm and cool from your knowledge, but see with your sensitivities. Okay, see with your sensitivities and you will feel that it's warm. You are going to decide what is warm and what is cool, not the books, not the grammar of the painting. You cannot find the warms and cools in there, but you have yourself to decide the warm and cools. You should have the sensitivity.
It's also like warmer than and cooler than.
It's always in relation with.
Yeah, in relationship to
the painting is always in relationship with it. The bigger form is in relation with the bigger space, the negative space. The warm is in relation with some cools.
Friends, we'll just take a momentary break. We need extension box. In the meantime, I'll just show you a close-up of this So you can just have a detailed look, and you can also see this setup. Yeah. So this is
That's fine. Charging or not? कौन हो गया ये अंदर गया हो गया हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा Yes, many art students they think that red is warm, blue is cool. That's the knowledge works, how the knowledge works. But if you are sensitive to see the colors, you can see the warmth and the cools. In the reds only you can see those things. So everything is just in relation with something. So we have to the analysis, the process of analysis, when we go in that, then we realize that everything we see is in relation with something.
So I think a big takeaway which our viewers are going to have is focus on the scene without contaminating it with prior knowledge.
Yeah. And be sensitive. We have to be sensitive. For that we have to look at how we have killed our sensitivities. What exactly has killed our sensitivity or killing continuously.
So, but then, as an artist, you're constantly working, probably either outside or in your studio.
Yeah.
And like there are two categories of people. One who's saying a complete no to working in a studio. They like to work outdoors.
Yeah.
There are some who like, they work both. They go out, observe, work plein air, come back, then. And there's some who just prefer to work in the comfort of a studio only.
Yeah.
But then, do you recommend anything to do where you're sensitivity towards things and your observation.
I will
can
say that
improvise.
Yes, one can continuously work in the studio, but the thing is that he has to go out of his studio, look at the sunset, look at the mountains, the farms. Just go on observing it without painting there. Just live with them. And there is no need of painting over there. Just be silent and experience them as they are. Try to live with them. And that is the great learning. You can come to the studio and start painting. But it's not necessary that one should go out and paint. Yes, but I love to paint outdoor also. I have done lots of outdoors. I love to paint outdoor, indoor, and yes, the thing is that one should have one should know that where exactly he finds his joy, where he enjoys.
And as you said, learning should happen. Now that source of learning can be anything, correct?
Yeah.
Like so, if you are being totally in solitude, then you are also just being with your own thoughts, and I don't know, sometimes just living life in interaction with other people and the environment teaches a lot.
Yeah. Actually, when a person is intelligent, every relationship, any person in his life works as a mirror for him. He can see himself in him, his egos, his issues, inner issues, in that relationship, in that interaction.
Correct.
So the point is that again we are coming that one should be aware about his own emotions, his thoughts, and yes, one should be meditative in a sense, or we can say. Meditation is not something
I think you should have one small Vipassana experience for everybody before they start the course also. I'm sure. And while talking to you itself in these 1.5 hours or 2 hours itself, there is so much of learning. I think your students are definitely going to go for Vipassana. Start with Vipassana Center this next go. They will surely be the, इधर से सीधा उधर जाएंगे वो लोग.
लेकिन मेरी ये मैं चौंक गया इस बात को देख के कि जब मैं बहुत सारे मैं ग्रेट आर्टिस्ट से मिला, पोएट से मिला, राइटर से मिला, तो मुझे ये समझ में आया कि वो सब लोग यही कर रहे हैं. They are doing vipassana, they are meditating.
Somehow it is like it's a very tough thing. Vipassana mein just being in your company, they say being in your company, are you going to be a good company for yourself or not?
That's a bad news.
So if people dread being alone with themselves.
Yes. So it's really hard to be with ourselves. It's really hard. So ये भी समझ में आया विपश्यना जाके तो भी बहुत हो गया ना. लेकिन ऑब्जर्वेशन के लिए, फ्लॉलेस ऑब्जर्वेशन के लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. One should have a meditative mind. Meditative mind, it doesn't mean that one should sit in a particular posture and by closing his eyes and looking at his breath. But what is meditative? To be aware. The awareness matters a lot. About each single stroke, what you are doing, what you are talking. A walk can be a meditation.
साथ वक्त बिताने की भी तैयारी होनी चाहिए ना।
जो खुद के साथ जॉय में है ना, जो खुश है, वही दूसरों के साथ खुश हो सकता है। You know what is the time?
I think we've gone a little ahead. It's 1:38 actually.
Okay. Shall I stop?
You decide. Viewers, do you want to watch a little more or he can stop? Because in his normal daily practice, he would take at least 3 hours to do this kind of a portrait to his satisfaction. But I don't think we have that kind of time right now. You decide, Parag.
Okay.
You have a meeting, correct?
Yeah?
You also have a meeting to attend later.
No, that meeting I have cancelled.
Cancel it?
Yeah. मुझे पता था ये ऐसा ही होगा।
अच्छा।
मेरा क्लास भी 3 आवर्स का होता है, लेकिन वो 3.5 आवर्स या 4 आवर्स का भी हो जाता है। क्योंकि टाइमलेस जो फील है ना, समय को भूल जाना, वही तो इम्पोर्टेंट है। Thank you, everyone.
So,
I hope all of you have enjoyed the process, and please let us know if you have any questions so that I can answer them. Hina, please.
friends, any questions? Then otherwise we will be winding up shortly.
I would like to show them from the front.
Yeah.
Can I take
One
the
minute.
mobile?
Somebody is asking, do you switch mediums depending on the type of paintings?
Yeah. This is the front view. You can see. Here are the pastels.
And if you see, he is also
Yes.
Here.
Checking the pastels over here.
yeah.
Here is one of my painting. You can see the pastels.
That's a brilliant art.
You can see the details over here.
I think think you should also show them that charcoal work.
Yeah. Here is one charcoal work. You can see. This is a demo work for my yearly course students. This is a 3-hour charcoal on canvas. You can see the textures as I go closer to it.
And the eyes are just amazing. As soon as I entered, I just love the eyes in this book.
And here is one more. You can see. So pastels.
Fine. One last. I'll just check if there are any more questions.
Yeah,
Friends,
please.
any? They're all appreciating your work, that it's awesome, amazing. Thanks for the demo. And they even enjoyed the discussion. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Amazing event to work for us. They gathered a lot of knowledge. It was a valuable talk. Thank you, friends. So, on behalf of all my viewers, I'm thanking you personally now.
Thank you, Hina,
Come
for
this side.
coming.
I think
Yeah.
they will be able to see you that
Yeah.
way better. Yeah. So, I hope you've learned a lot, and if anybody wants to have more in detailed learning, you can always contact Parag, and you have experienced that he is a brilliant teacher, and I'm sure you will not only become a good artist, you will also become a great human at the end of it. So all the best to you, Parag, and thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming from so far. Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye bye, friends.
Bye bye.